decals. No, Matt, we don't have free decals.
No free decals today, Matt.
Decals.
But thanks for being here. Hi, everybody. Q&A today, 3-9-17. What are we talking about today? Well, it is one of mine and Adam's favorite time of year. It is basketball tournament time.
Midday basketball games.
That's really,
games. Really what helps us.
Had a couple of big games last night. We just want to send a shout out to Bruce Pearl at the University of Auburn, who has once again cost Adam and I probably a point or two on the sheet. How in the hell Missouri was able to pull that out, but I guess they're playing for Kim Anderson, and that's good. So that's an honorable thing. But Bruce Pearl couldn't coach his way out of wet paper bag. So thanks for that, Bruce. Yeah, you got anything, Adam? Anything you want to say?
No, I don't. What y'all talking about in training today?
What was today? Today was turbo sizing, and we talked about turbo sizing today. Just sales numbers.
What in turbo sizing meaning what?
So.
I love turbo sizing, so I'm curious about this as well.
So we talk about turbo sizing in terms of breaking it down into. You don't always have time to run through volumetric efficiency with every different engine that calls and whatnot. So we're trying to drill it down into, if a guy has this platform, if he's got an 01 Dodge and he's got if he's got generally 350 horsepower rear wheels and he's towing a lot, he needs to be in this turbo. So kind of breaking it down into numbers that are just quick for the sales guys to be able to remember.
Oh,
and
wait.
not overthinking it.
What is that you have on the desk?
Oh, sorry. We'll lead into that. I wasn't done with the turbo, but no, absolutely.
Okay. I thought you were done.
So I wanted to show everybody this today because there's usually There's usually a plethora of broken things that make it across my desk. They always wind up in my office. This, obviously, if you see this and you probably recognize it, this is a 1480 Duramax rear aluminum drive shaft. And this is what happens when you let your wife drive. No, I'm just kidding. So, pretty cool story on the failure on this drive shaft, and probably seen this quite a bit. You can see where the material had got real thin at this top side. What actually had happened to this truck, and this wasn't a truck that we worked on, thank goodness. This was a truck that was race equipped, so the exhaust back pressure lines were left hanging, and the clamp on the exhaust back pressure line, which looked harmless enough, was rubbing on this drive shaft. And after so many miles and so many revolutions of the shaft, it just opened up this drive shaft like a can opener. It weakened the material to the point where one day they just put it in drive, and that was enough, and she sheared right off. So, that's a big failure for something that could have been avoided. That's literally a 10-cent part that cost you $450, basically. So, yeah. But Duramax drive shaft, make sure nothing is coming in contact with it because it is able to wear through it, and it'll cost you some serious money.
And I mean, how thick are those exhaust back pressure lines? They're nothing.
Oh, it's the clamps, man.
They're nothing.
In fact, I think I've got one in here. No shit.
Oh, the Barney bag?
Yeah.
That's what that.
No, I swear I do. I think I've got one of the little chintzy clamps on my desk somewhere.
The amount of stuff.
Oh crap! I found Kyle Key. If you're watching, I just found another one of the squirrely things was in my desk drawer. I apologize. So our inventory is now +1. Kyle, I hope he's watching. Shit, I didn't know. The peppermint swirl worth +1, Kyle. Alright. So, yeah, literally the clamp is as thin a piece of metal as, it's as thin a piece of metal as that wheel weight right there. So that piece of steel right there, and that's literally what was rubbing on the drive shaft. Every time it goes around, it just cut it open like a can opener. See it? Hey, we got some questions? Anybody want to talk about what's in my drawer?
Let's not show them everything that's in the drawer right now. There's a few Secret Santa gifts in there we probably shouldn't show on air.
Not yet.
All right, we started getting a few questions in here. We'll start going through some. I don't know if you have any input on this, but I'll ask it. What do you think of the fast coolers for the NV5600?
Oh, the coolers.
The coolers.
Yes, he's been here, and he's a hell of a nice guy. We need to get those up on the website. That's just going to add more fluid to your transmission, so obviously it's going to help with the cooling capabilities of it. Yeah, it's good. Verlin.
Will you explain what the fast cooler is? A lot of people, I think you have one.
No, it's shit.
I thought it was back there.
Where are they?
Is that not in that box right there?
Hell, Adam, I've got them somewhere.
Let me hang on a second. I want them to be able to see your horde back here.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff in my horde.
I'm gonna try to.
And it's outside of the shop, but they're just extensions of the PTO covers on the manual shift transmission. I think that they increase the capacity of the manual shift transmission. They increase it like, I don't know. Oh, there they are. There they are. Here. So this is a product we don't offer these yet. Hopefully we'll be soon. But these are called Fast Coolers. Fast, F-A-S-T. Verlin Fast is the owner. He's very proud of this. These go on the transmission PTO covers. Take PTO cover off, put this on, put the PTO cover back on, put your fluid back in. Going to increase your capacity, your fluid capacity, so it's going to help you with the cooling properties. Obviously, you can contact Verlin directly for a set of those if you need them at this point. Fastcoolers.com, I think. Oh, Lord.
We really need to go through that. So that's where we need to start getting prizes from.
This is all everything that's in that cabinet is done.
Yeah, they're gone.
Videos done.
Well, it's not a lot of it doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, and then there's some in this cabinet that never made it to the cutting board. And then these two things right here, where the Smart Touch, that's a BDX, and a Smarty Touch, those are videos yet to do.
Gotcha. What's a good clutch for my truck? It's stock, just deleted, tuner. Just deleted in a tuner. Not hauling much more highway driving. 2012 6.7.
Deleted with what tuning? The 6.7 is a very torquey motor, so my suggestion is to go ahead and do the street dual disc, one of the quiet dual disc for sure. You're going to want to do that because a single dual disc bone stock horsepower is probably about as far as it's going to be able to go. With the truck being deleted, that's probably going to give you just enough more horsepower. It's going to blow you through just about every single disc out there. Go ahead and do the street dual disc. You'll thank us later. The quiet dual disc or the street dual disc, just a non-competition dual disc clutch.
Good injectors for a 2007-3 for towing.
If you're going to do an injector upgrade, we suggest Swamps. Swamps is a very good brand. It just depends on what you've got done to the truck. We carry Industrial as well. Industrial does a good injector. It just depends on what you've got done to the truck. If you've got a high pressure oil pump upgrade, a very light injector up to maybe 50 horsepower over is probably going to be a choice for you. But if you decide you don't want to do injectors, obviously tuner, intake, exhaust, even more on that. If you do a high pressure oil pump upgrade, you're going to really maximize what you're able to get out of your stock injectors too. So,
is your phone on?
It will be. Phones are now on. 859-355-9002. We got a phone call.
Oh, that was quick.
Hey, it's quick. It might not be a phone call. This is Wade. Can I help you?
Yeah, I got a question. My shop that I work for just got a new truck. It's a 2017 Cummins. We're wanting to delete it, but all the diesel shops I've talked to in the area, basically, they're telling me that because it was bought as a chassis cab, the engine tuning's different, so they can't do it.
Okay. All right.
Basically, how would that work to get it deleted?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, appreciate it. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah. Just a little forewarning. We can't answer deleting questions.
Yeah. We can't answer any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry. I apologize.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Every time, man.
Yeah, but if you call the regular number, we can
866-737-4966 for any other questions.
Yeah, any question.
Any questions.
Yeah, we're not picky on that.
Yeah.
Line. All right.
Every time, dude. Every time.
Oh, goodness. All right. Hey, guys, what should my exhaust temp be running? I have a Race ME Programmer 4-inch exhaust on a 120 horsepower tune. It's been getting up to 1,000 first week that it's ever been up that high. The highest I've ever seen it before is 800.
You may be pushing the truck farther, just trying to get it. Subconsciously, you're trying to see a higher number, so you may be just pushing and pushing and pushing. So that your foot definitely may have something to do with this. Cruising temperature is what we're really concerned with. So if you're cruising at 1,000 degrees, that's probably not necessarily right. If you're unloaded, if you're loaded, then just depending on what you're pulling. So there's so many things that go in that's such a moving target. But now if you're seeing 1,000 on the high side when you're romping down on it, that's a normal temperature. So I think you're okay. Just a little bit more data there. What is it? Which one is it? It's okay. Hold on.
No. This isn't a regular one. This is so far out in left field. I would have never expected this question, but I'll read it to you anyway. Is T6 Rotella that much better than T4 or T5? Can I run the T5 on a 5,000 mile oil change on a 6.0 and be good to go for making it to 500k miles?
I don't know the answer to that question as far as how it relates to, number one, that tier of oil, and number two, what the difference in it is, like the 2-ball wear test. So I can't speak to what you need to put in your engine, but I can tell you this much. Everything that is on the individual oil manufacturer's label will tell you what is in that oil, obviously, and what their suggestion for that is. So as long as you are using the correct weight that the engine manufacturer requires for you, then you should be good to go. Now, I'm not going to tell you, hey, you can stretch this out to 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 miles. That's not what my job is. That's not what I'm going to do. But you need to be using, number one, the correct viscosity oil for the engine that your engine manufacturer recommends. And then number two, you want to make sure that you look at what the oil recommendations, the oil manufacturer's recommendations are for that oil itself.
What do you do with the electrical part of a VP44 when you do a P-pump conversion?
What do you do with the electrical part? Well, you don't. The electrical part of the VP44 is not inherent to, but it is part of the VP44, so the PSG is gone. When you do a P-pump conversion, everything else on the truck is staying there. Nothing is really changing. There's certain components inside of the ECM that you're still going to use. You can use it to pick up your rationality for RPM and so on and so forth. So you don't necessarily get rid of the ECM, but obviously it's not controlling your injection pump anymore. So yeah, I guess that's the answer to your question.
You don't reuse it.
Yeah. No, it's the ECM is still in play.
But not the PCM that they're talking about, or the PSG.
Not the PSG on the
PSG,
VP4.
sorry.
No, the VP44's computer goes with the VP44. Yeah. Drinking a lot of water today because I went to pee and my urine looks like I'm dehydrated, so I need more water. What time is it? It's 3:13.
Are you ready to be done already?
No.
Oh, okay, I was about to say it's gonna be a long show.
Yeah, it's a long show.
30 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you guys have not got one of these, if you deal with huge joints a lot, get yourself a Spicer ruler. It's really nice. It's good stuff.
Did you get that out of your drawer?
I'm sorry, man.
Oh, okay. Here's a good one. How to get 20 plus miles per gallon on a 94 Cummins stock BDS lift, 4.5 inch, Toyo 35s, 12.5 and 17 inch rim.
Oh man, the truck sounds like it's beautiful. I don't know that I can give you the magical equation of how to get that truck to 20 miles to the gallon. You got to put a lot of parasitic loss there just because of a lot of different things. Parasitic loss. You've got a lot of air turbulence loss there too. All jokes aside, you're working inside of the horsepower threshold of the motor. You've got to accomplish a certain horsepower number with the motor to be able to overcome the things that you have aesthetically done, the truck, the lift, and the tires, and so on and so forth. So, man, really, my advice is just keep tweaking. Learn about timing on the motor, learn about the timing, and start playing with different injector and turbo combinations, you're going to need, probably, I'm just going to throw a number out there to you that, is it correct or not, another 100 horsepower easily just to overcome that loss and get you back to your stock efficiency. So I don't think that necessarily 20 miles a gallon is something that is unattainable, but it's definitely going to take some tweaking for sure.
What about re-gearing? How big of a factor would that play?
It depends on your road miles. If you're stop and go driving,
depends on what you're driving. Most of the time. That's
you don't want to re-gear. You re-gear down to a damn a crazy high road gear. Or you go from 410 to 373. You're going to get a big gain in mileage right then. You know what I mean? But from extreme from 373 to something else, it's the truck's going to get very doggy.
Mm-hmm. All right, LB7 injectors. There's so many options out there. What should I look for when purchasing? Everyone seems to claim that their injector is the best in some way, shape, or form. I actually really like that question.
That is a good question.
Way to ask that.
Yeah, and the crappy thing about it is, obviously, most LB7 guys have had to put 3 or 4 different sets of injectors in there. You want to look at, and this is me speaking on a personal level, so what I look at as an LB7 owner, I always take into consideration the manufacturer that I'm purchasing the injectors from and the quality of tips that they use. The tip quality is where, to me, it's what's the most important. Obviously, using all the body upgrades so you don't have to worry about the body cracking and so on. Good control valves, good solenoids. Make sure the solenoids are replaced. But the quality of the tips that the company that you choose uses is imperative to the life of the injector. It is as important as you, the owner of the truck, monitoring the fuel quality that you purchase. There's a burden to you as the owner. You have to be diligent in changing your fuel filters and making sure that you're buying fuel from a reputable source and not just filling up at every Joe Schmo gas station you get a hold of. Those are the things that damage even the best LB7 injector 502 tips. If you run crap fuel through the damn truck all the time, you're not going to have any kind of longevity. So your injectors. So choose a company with a good known a good track record on the tips that they use, and then make sure that you are doing your part to stay diligent on changing your fuel filters and making sure that you use fuel additive and you are very, very specific on where you buy your fuel.
There's another really good question. Got a bunch of good ones today. Where do you see the diesel performance world in 5 years, considering stock diesel trucks are hitting 1,000 foot-pounds of torque?
Right out of the gate. It's crazy. Because now, honestly, we ask this question all the time when we're in meeting. We always say, what is art? Because it's just, it's one of those questions you always laugh at the liberals throw out at you. What really is art? What's the question on the table now is, what is the horsepower number? What is the number? I saw a post on Facebook that some of the guys in the industry, we were all talking, or they were all throwing around how 5 years ago 700 horsepower was a big number in a truck. You know what I mean? Which with pretty moderate fueling modifications. In talking about in light duty street driven, 700 was a nice number that you saw on the dyno. You're like, man, that truck's on the sauce. 700 horsepower now is nothing. Now with the evolution of tuning and what tuning has done specifically to capitalize on all of the fueling components, and now the turbo industry and how everybody has just brought it all together, all the pieces of the puzzle, and now it is an art form too. So to answer your question, where do I see the industry? The big three are always going to be battling for that top horsepower number. Every year, Ford is going to try to beat Chevrolet and so on and so forth. And I don't know what the sky is. I really don't know what the limit is. But they're going to continue to increase displacement of engines and put bigger and bigger on it until we figure out whatever the sweet spot is. I don't know how much farther they're going to go, kids, but it's still pretty impressive to slide into the seat of a truck right off the lot that's damn near, just like he said, 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. So what do I see as far as the performance side of it? The performance side of it is really still going to, it's just a matter of time now. So they're going for 3,000. They're going for 3,000 in a light duty frame. So it's just, I don't know, but man, it's an awesome time to be here. It is an awesome time to be here. We talk about in hunting all the time as what are the glory days, especially in relating to duck hunting. When were the glory days? Were they back, before we destroyed all the waterways and whatnot? Were those the glory days, or now the glory days? From the conservation efforts of hunters, and there's more ducks now than there ever have been. This has got to be the glory days of diesel performance to me. I don't know where it's going, man, but damn, I'm glad I'm here to see it.
I've always wondered if the stock applications won't start. If eventually those companies, the big three, won't put as much emphasis on creating the highest horsepower, the highest torque truck. If they're going to hit almost a diminishing returns point to where they're going to go,
that's right.
The average customer doesn't really care if this has 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. They're more worried about, I don't know, cosmetics, for lack of a better term, or if they have Bluetooth in their truck or something like that, and if they won't start putting more emphasis on that. So that's what I wonder if you're not going to see in the next 5 years. If you won't see, all right, this is as much as we can. This is as much horsepower as we can put in a truck, and people are willing to pay us $80,000 for
That's
it.
right. I agree with what you said right there. I think you said it best, because they'll start bringing light to the technology that they put inside the truck. All the trucks are going to have Wi-Fi standard. And, those kinds of things will kind of overshadow the engines, because, you've got to look at it for what it is. A base engine, there's not much farther they're going to... I don't feel like there's much farther they're going to be able to go than 600 horsepower on a stock rotating assembly.
Or I think it'll turn, and it'll take a miles per gallon angle.
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's where I probably see it going more than anything, is they'll see what horsepower can we get that gets us the most efficient engine miles per gallon wise, and that's what'll get the sales.
Or longevity of the motor.
Or that one too.
They come out and say, okay, to hell with the 100,000 mile warranty. We're going to take everybody the 500,000 mile warranty. But and also your question was more to where are we at now at performance, but we're at a point now where we're taking in the technology that the truck pullers had and bringing on the big Columbus Chargers and the huge fuel systems and putting these on street driven trucks, and it's just an awesome time to be here. It really is. I think that we're going to be I honestly by the end of next year there'll be a 3,000 horsepower truck out there on chassis dyno for sure, no problem.
Thoughts on a TS Striker on a 6.7 Cummins with an Austin transmission?
Asen.
I don't know if that was auto-corrected to
Asen.
That's what it was?
Yeah, Asen.
Okay.
I think that the Striker is a nice module for a stock truck when you're looking for something just to give it a little bit more pep before you go making the next step with it. So I think you're making a good choice if you're looking for something to slide into 50 horsepower on the truck and grab just a little bit more efficiency out of the vehicle for sure.
Aaron wanted to let you know your redhead looks pretty good back there.
Yeah, thank you, man. I shot those 2 redheads.
That's Goose. He said that.
Yeah, was it Goose?
Yeah,
thanks, man. I wasn't going to tell. I'm not going to tell you.
He might have been with
you. Hey, Goose, I'm not going to tell you the whole damn story. I think you were with me that day. No, Jake was with me, but yeah. Hey, good talking to you, man. Come see me. Let's go camping. I got the camper back.
Oh, that's a follow-up question. Let me just see. All right, so this will follow up on the VP44 P-pump conversion thing. And the guy said, so you just leave the plug alone and go.
Yeah, the plug's open.
Do you need a zip tied up or anything like that?
Tied up,
anywhere?
Just,
I didn't know if it was in the way of anything.
Wrap something around it to keep water out of it and further degradation to the wiring harness.
About how many miles?
I'm sorry, man. You're right.
Is oil cooler good for before it needs to be replaced on a 6.0?
Your delta, you want to make sure that you're monitoring your delta between oil temperature and coolant temperature. It's not really a mileage thing. It's once the cooler becomes inefficient and it's not keeping that delta up where it needs to be at that point. So monitor that delta. Plenty of information on that on the web out there. Keep monitoring your delta, the difference between your coolant temperature and your oil temperature. And once that you get too big a difference between the two, you want to replace the oil cooler.
Corey's coming in with some good questions today. I like this one too.
This is awesome.
What's the most cost-effective high-pressure oil pump? I like that cost-effective term. We don't ever get that, but that's how me and you look at stuff.
Yeah,
when
that's
we're
right.
doing it to customers.
No,
So
yeah,
I like
it's,
that question.
yeah, absolutely. Lots of different companies out there that are in a remanufacturing program. We offer, I think, 3 right now. So all of those offerings are test standard, fully remanufactured product with a 1-year warranty on them. So that is the most cost-effective high-pressure oil pump replacement that you can get from us.
Yeah. Cost-effective is hard too because on our end we're looking at a lot of different things, but on your end, part of it is a happy factor.
Yeah.
And what brand's going to make you happy to have on your truck?
Yeah.
There is a factor there that you need to consider. If you just like a certain brand, you want to be able to say, hey, this is the high pressure oil pump. Consider that in your cost effectiveness.
I think as a performance company that Thoroughbred can really prides itself on the fact that we work with a lot of, when we were a much smaller shop, we worked very closely with fuel shops in the products that we got. So Dennis and I and Adam too both got a real sense of pride in the stock parts that we offered, the VP44s and the 7100 frame pumps that we were getting and the agricultural pumps we were doing. So we really monitored that and got a good quality pump, and we also fought to get it at the most cost effective price range. So, and that's carried on over into the company that where we're at today. So we love to look at other manufacturing companies that, even though they're not the Bosches or the Bosches or the Delphis or so on and so forth necessarily, but the remanufacturing companies that are out there that are remanufacturing these products for a more cost-effective reason, and they're doing a damn good job at it and making a very, very good product. We take that seriously. We don't just slap products up on the website. We look at all things considered, pricing, quality, test standards, so on and so forth, to give you the best product that you've got. And we offer several different options for that. You can go on the website and you can look at anything. You can say, hey, I'm looking for an injector for my 91 IDI Ford. We'll have a couple of different remanufactured offerings. We'll have a brand new offering on there for you too. So, yeah, we always take that into consideration and offer you everything that we can get that's good quality.
What do you think of the BD Power Screamer Performance Turbo for 6.7 Cummins?
That is going to be a good product. I don't know proprietary-wise what they're doing and manufacturing-wise what they're doing different. We have sold quite a few of them. Good reports out there in the field if you're wanting a drop-in turbo. So many more drop-in turbochargers that are being made right now. Everybody's doing a really, really good job at them and raising the efficiency of those turbos. So if you're looking for that drop in on that 351, the BD is a good offering.
All right.
I'm going to let you keep your exhaust brake too. So,
Sam, I'm getting ready to answer your question, but thank you for choosing a respectable horsepower number to ask this question on. What upgrades should I do to my 12-valve P pump to get a reliable 300 horsepower with the NV 4500?
So many things that you can do that are just completely free. You know what I mean? There's so many things that you can do out there that you YouTube. Go and find information on the internet, watch your sources, learn how to adjust your timing, learn how to take the AFC housing off and adjust your plate and turn the star wheel. And there's a lot of stuff that can be done there that you're going to be able to do for free, and you're going to learn a ton about your truck. What do you buy at that point when you want to go the next level, and you're into delivery valves and you're into injectors. But the one thing that you're going to want to do on the 12 valves, and I tell guys this all the time, if you've got a good old 12 valve that you bought, start working on the turbo side. The 35 in that motor, and the way it makes power and the way it moves air, it's just very efficient. They're very quick to squirt a head gasket out, stud it, get all that, get everything taken care of on top end to where you're good and you've got a good solid platform, then start working forward from there.
So what would be the first thing you would do then? Change the turbo? Is that what you're saying? Or just the turbo wheel?
If the good Lord blessed me with walking out of here today and an old man brought me a 1998 standard 12 valve in here and he said 5,000 cash and you take it home with you, the first thing I'd do is I'd drive right straight to my house and I'd put a set of head studs in it first thing right off the bat. And then, that's me. That's me because I want to lay the groundwork. What do you do at that? What do you do for performance wise? You start learning about it. You just start filling your head with knowledge.
All right.
Slide the plate in it.
I know your answer to this, and I know what my answer would be to this, but we'll see if we have the same one. I have an 05 5.9. I want to upgrade my turbo. I have a stock turbo with no tuner, and I'm getting close to 24 miles per gallon, driving at about 65 miles per hour. What turbo and tuner combo do you recommend without sacrificing my fuel mileage?
Okay. I'm not going to answer it in terms of turbo. I'll let you take that. I would suggest that you don't do a performance turbo upgrade without a fueling upgrade at the same time. So you're not going to want to take the stock efficiency of the motor and move it into a bigger turbo. You're going to be going the other way. So I'm going to say if you're wanting to further increase the efficiency of your truck, start with the tuning side. What about you, Adam? What's your thoughts?
I'm getting 24 miles per gallon. I'm probably not touching it.
There's something to be said for that. I mean, he's exactly right. I wanted to throw something out there, but yeah, honestly,
either that or I'm putting something small on it, like a Smarty Junior, that I don't care if for some reason it did make my fuel economy go down, that I could take it off and wouldn't care about it.
It's hard for Adam and I to answer questions like that because we're tweakers. Because if we've got something we want to tweak on all the time, and we want to try to, obviously because we're gearheads. But at the same time too, if I get a nice truck that's just a gem and it's just getting great fuel mileage and it drives good, I know what comes with the sacrifice of when you start screwing with it. I'll leave it alone for a long, long time. You know what I mean? Yeah. I like stock too.
I have no issue with stock.
I got no issues with stock.
You see, especially those older trucks, man. You see a nice stock older truck, and you're like, man, they did a good job building that truck. I don't know why back when that first came out, I wanted to put so much stuff on that. It looked pretty good how it was.
And I will give you this. Every gearhead, all of us, everybody out there in the industry, and you guys are watching right now. I know you're sitting at your office at XYZ and you're watching me. You know, even though when you buy a brand new truck and you drive it off, yeah, in your mind, you're like, what can I do to this? What can I do to this? But in your mind, you're hesitant to do it right off the bat because it just drives so damn good.
It does.
It's perfect. You know what I mean? There's a lot to be said for that.
That's like our LML. We drove it all around the country one year, and we got tired of everybody asking us if it was a gas truck or not because it set so low down to the ground with that trailer behind it. Yeah. And we put everything under the sun on that truck, and then sometimes when we're driving around the country and those Nittos or whatever, it's not BFGs that are on it now, beat our brains out. We're going, why did we do this?
Why did we do this? Why did we take the stock wheels and tires off this truck? Like to have my ass kicked. There's something to be said for stock wheels and tires at 800 horsepower under the hood too. Okay. Go ahead.
Oren, if you're wanting something, I'm a big fan of like an Edge EZ or the Quadzilla XZT on one of those trucks. It's small. Yeah. It's not going to cost you a ton.
You're dead set on doing a turbo upgrade. I wouldn't if you're just absolutely not going to make any fueling adjustments, then I probably wouldn't go any farther than a Wicked Wheel at that point. Mm-hmm. And even then you're probably going to be missing out on everything you need. So,
all right. What's the best 11 to 12 Ford?
Sorry.
Does she not know? This is
every Thursday.
Her, Chris.
Every Thursday. Chris, why have you not called me?
Yeah. All right. What's the best 11 to 12 Ford turbo remedy out there on the market as far as best bang for your buck, best performance? I'm not sure what it means by remedy. Do you? Okay.
The turbo on them is they're uncovering a lot of failures on the Scorpion turbos. ATS has got an awesome kit that's out. BD has got an awesome kit that's out. If I've missed any manufacturers, I apologize. Anything that is non-VGT, that is drop-in with full manifold setup, H&S Motorsports has got a really nice kit out as well. All of those guys have got great kits. I don't have a preference in that as far as one manufacturer to the other because they're all kind of basically using the same frame charger, but you've got to look at what your performance needs are for the truck. If you're not going above a very big tuner, then you don't want to do a very big kit. That goes without saying. So absolutely, there's some great drop-in kits out there. You can be glad to call us and we'll help hook you up with something.
Andrew wants to know if we have a stock downpipe. Oh, it's wanting something used. Well, I'll read the question. You can tell him you might have a better setup for this anyway.
Okay.
Y'all got a stock downpipe used for an 0560. I can buy cheaply. Needs one for a hood stack.
I mean, our down, we offer down pipes from Diamond Eye that are fairly cost effective, and he's going to get it in 4-inch or whatever the stock one is on 6.0s. I apologize, and you can hack that up. Yeah, that's going to be my suggestion on that. Mm-hmm. Go with Diamond Eye.
Or maybe somebody else that chimes in here in a second and tells you they have a spare one.
And doesn't have to necessarily be Diamond Eye. That was the first one I thought of.
But we don't sell anything used at this time.
I don't think we ever will.
I hope not. Not my call.
No, not my call. Not my call.
Okay.
$94.
$94 for so that's.
Bad.
I doubt you're going to get a used one for less than $50.
Yeah.
So.
859-355-9002 if you guys want to call us.
What time is it?
It's 3:35.
Okay, so we're not doing bad on time today. Where's the
No-Necks at?
I don't know what they're doing today, man. Maybe they're all hopped up on pre-workout or something over there, and they just hadn't. They forgot about us. Yeah, they forgot about us today.
Corey will look up and go, "Shit, it's Thursday."
He said Josh texted him every Thursday at 3. If Josh isn't there for some reason,
he'll forget it.
He'll text him and say, "You need to get on there and ask Wade about his workout or something." So, what's the highest temperature they should be?
There he is.
I'm assuming 6.0s. What's the highest temperature 6.0s should be hitting before they have an issue with max oil temp?
I do not know that number. I know that the cooler efficiency is supposed to keep it fairly close to coolant temperature. If it is going above coolant temperature, then you've got a cooler efficiency problem at that point. Yes, sir.
All right. 2011 Power Stroke. MDP intake.
Okay.
Who is that?
I don't know.
MDP.
I don't know.
Borg Warner 360 turbo, fast. Engine cold air intake. 4-inch exhaust. Where should I go from here for more horsepower?
That's actually a really good question. With the turbo that you've chosen, you are at a point now that I don't know what tuning that you've got. You may want to start working with some people to see what can be done for furthering your tuning. I don't think necessarily a injector upgrade at this time, but possibly the CP3 over CP4 kit for those I think would probably be your next step to start just laying your groundwork for your next step, and then let you know where you want to go. Then if you're ready to go bigger on that end, you want to go bigger injectors and huge tuning, and you're going to have to change turbos, obviously. So I say lay the groundwork, but do the CP3 over CP4 conversion and go from there. Not the CP3 over CP4 conversion, the CP3 CP4 twin kit.
How do you feel about block off plate EGR delete?
Yeah,
we can talk about EGR delete.
I guess we can. The block off plate is, probably the most cost effective way to keep. You obviously have to understand that tuning has to be done with this. But yeah, the block off plate keeps the cooler and everything inside of in the play, so you don't have to worry about blowing out your.
Let me read more on this. I'm having a lot of issues with my 6.4 turbo diesel. I think it's just a clog, and my EGR valve is throwing an EGR position sensor code. And looking to do an EGR block off with the elbow kit, and just wondering if it's safe to do.
Well, at that point, the truck's race, so you've got to do the DPF delete as well. So maybe maybe diving into that just a little bit more and realizing what you've got. But if you're a closed course vehicle, then I would suggest doing a EGR upgrade for sure.
If
It's the best I can do.
If you're
man.
not a closed course race, then do an EGR.
Yeah, if you are a closed course racer, you do an EGR upgrade. If you are a non-closed course racer, you're going to stay on the road. You need to bring the valve out and address it and see, how bad the contaminants are inside your system for sure. Yeah. Messed you up there, didn't I?
Yeah, I still think we're saying it backwards because you're saying EGR. You're calling it an upgrade.
I'm calling it an EGR deleted.
That's
upgrade.
where you were throwing me. I thought you were meaning going and getting the EGR replaced, like a dealership replacement.
Yeah. Let's just make a rule right now on Wade's World. I'd really like to talk to you guys about just about everything, but we just can't. We can't talk to you about deletes. We can't talk to you about EGR deletes. We can't talk to you about DPF deletes. We can't talk to you about any kind of daggone deletes. But hey, I apologize for that. But we can definitely help you out in other ways today on the Q&A show.
Mm-hmm.
You're always welcome to call us and ask us any questions you want to. You're all your heart's desire. But at 3:00 on at 3:30 or 3:00 on Thursdays, we can't talk about EGR DPF deletes. Our apologies. I'm sorry, man. We don't want to be assholes.
You need to make a shirt that says, ask me about your DPF.
Yeah.
Positives to second gen swapping a 2006 5.9.
We talked about this last week, positioning the turbo, getting it away from being oriented around the back of the motor and getting it more equally dispersed towards the middle of the motor for heat, access to the turbo, just a lot of good stuff there, man. I think that it just makes for a better looking engine bay, So that's my answer.
All right, this one's intense. You ready for it?
Oh boy.
How much life should I expect out of a new Borg Warner SXE and SX4 turbos? 362 over 68 over 14 and S475. Also, will the S475 ever potentially grenade with the 1.10 exhaust housing on a 96 millimeter turbine wheel? That might be the most extensive description of turbos setup that I've ever received over here. So thank you for that.
Thank you for that. I don't think that AR housing is anything that might contribute to overspeed. I may be speaking out of turn on that because he hit me with the numbers kind of fast, but I don't think it's going to contribute to overspeed.
It's kind of hard to keep all the numbers without looking at it.
I don't think that you're going to be contributing to overspeed at that. Okay, but now, what's the longevity of the turbos? As far as rotating assemblies go, if you're making sure that you're doing you're doing regular maintenance on it, you shouldn't have a problem with the life of the turbos. I can't tell you that they're going to go 500,000 miles. If there's an inherent flaw to them, manufacturing flaw that may show up after a couple 100,000 miles, I can't call that. I think your turbo setup is sound. Obviously, your knowledge of the setup is sound. Oil contamination and fuel contamination are the things that wipe turbos out. Do not let that happen to you. If you think that you've got any type of fueling problems that are adding anything into the oil, you want to make sure that you get that knocked out and get the oil changed on it, regular maintenance, and the damn turbo should go to the life of the truck.
All right. We're kind of out of questions, so I say let's wrap it up.
It's 3:42, so
been
today,
a good day for questions.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going out to Vegas for the NASCAR race, so if anybody is out in Vegas this weekend, holler at me and email wmcginnis@thoroughbreddiesel.com. We'll meet up. We'll grab a cold beverage in Vegas. So
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Got anything else to tell them?
I don't have anything, guys.
All right.
All right, man.
Tell them bye.
Bye, Wade.